Hey, everybody. Happy 4th. Happy 4th of December. Hope you're all having a great day. Today is Thursday. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how to automate your bookkeeping business for passive income. This is going to be an interesting video. I'm going to talk about two things because there are two paths to being hands off on your bookkeeping business, to automating things so that it feels more like being a business owner instead of more so just having a high paying job. Before I get started, let me just say that a lot of this video is going to be based on theory because I don't have a proper business where I have employees. I do all the work myself. So people have commented a lot and said that I don't have a true business. I just built myself a job, which could kind of seem like an insult on the surface, but when you really think about it, they're right. It's true. I don't have a business. I could not step away for 30 days. My business would absolutely not run without me. My business 100% needs me every day to operate at all. Not even efficiently, just at all. I do everything. I've kind of been proud of the fact that I've done everything for the past 6 years. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just the way I've chosen to run my business. It's just the way I've been doing it. Not good, not bad, just how I've been doing it. So, in this video, I'm gonna talk about the 2 paths that you can take. Number 1, you can automate everything and then do all the work yourself. So it doesn't feel like you're doing all the work because you've implemented automation. Number 2, a totally different path would be developing systems and processes so that you can outsource and hire employees and contractors to do the work for you. So let's talk about the first path, automating all the tasks so that the work feels easier, but you can still do it yourself. I like this path first because I'm just not a fan of employees. I know there are some people watching this video who I'm sure you have a big bookkeeping business and you have 5 employees and it's running great. And if that's you, that's amazing. I'm really proud of you. I don't know. Just for me, I've thought a lot about it. I've actually hired a couple independent contractors temporarily, and I just never really liked it. So for me, I have tried to automate as much as I could so that I could run really efficiently. At the peak, I was managing 88 clients, I think. I almost got to 100. That would have been pretty cool. But now I have about 70 bookkeeping clients who I manage, making about $35,000 per month from my bookkeeping business. So there's a couple things. You can automate email reminders, automatic billing, QuickBooks rules, online bank access, and having a niche service so that you can automate things and work more efficiently. So, number one, automatic email reminders. So, I'm not manually sending emails to my clients every month requesting documents. So, I have automatic email reminders to all of my clients on the first of every month. Hey, please send me last month's bank statements and credit card statements. If they have a complicated long list of accounts that I need to reconcile, I might actually include the actual account names. Hey, please send me the following documents from last month: Amex 1002, Chase 456, Orstown Bank Statement, Members First Bank Statement, Loan 123, Ford F 150 vehicle loan. If they have a lot of accounts, and it's kind of tough for them to send me everything that I need, I might literally explicitly list out the actual monthly statements that I need. But all that's going out automatically. So I don't have to manually send reminders to all of my clients every month. That's all automatic. And that saves me a lot of time, especially during month end close. And then automatic billing. I think I talked about this on Tuesday. I am not sending invoices to my clients every month. That would take half a day for me to send out 70 invoices to 70 different clients. That would take way too long. So I have automatic QuickBooks invoices. I set up recurring transactions. They go out to all my clients on the first day of every month. And then I also have reminders set up so that if a client doesn't pay after 7 days, they automatically get a reminder. They don't pay after 14 days, automatic reminder. They don't pay after 30 days, automatic reminder. And that's all set up straight through QuickBooks Online. One thing about me, I do try to keep things simple. I don't want to have 20 different software platforms that I'm trying to automate things. I really try to keep things as simple and easy as possible. Software, applications, automation, it's great. But if you start implementing too many systems, things can get pretty complicated pretty quickly. QuickBooks rules. I'll be honest, I was a hater. The first couple years, I was a QuickBooks rules hater, but I only had 20 clients for the first 2 years. So I wasn't really doing that much bookkeeping. Whenever I got to 40 clients and then I got to 80 clients, I quickly realized I need to start using QuickBooks rules. And I did. Super simple to implement, right in the bank feed, have all your bank accounts and credit cards connected. Really importantly, you want to make sure that you utilize bank text for the QuickBooks rules. That way, if a bank transaction comes in and Amazon is in the bank detail, or Walmart, or I don't know, Sheets, or a gas station, or Home Depot, or anywhere is in the bank detail, QuickBooks will automatically categorize that transaction for you. Super helpful. If your client goes to the same gas station every morning, you can just set up a rule for the name of that gas station, have the payee set to that gas station, the category, car and truck, or vehicle fuel, or whatever you want to call it. Have QuickBooks automatically record those transactions. Also great for monthly software subscriptions, great for daily advertising expenses, really frees up a lot of your time. I would probably say the majority of the transactions that I categorize are all automated with QuickBooks rules. You just want to make sure that you're very particular with the bank text information. For example, I would not necessarily set up a rule anytime it says QuickBooks in the bank detail, because QuickBooks could mean multiple different things. QuickBooks has payroll processing fees, monthly subscriptions, interest payments sometimes, payroll sometimes. So the word QuickBooks could mean different things, just as an example. Or maybe even Google. Sometimes you've got Google Ads or Google Office or Google G Suite. Like, Google isn't necessarily always office supplies and software. It's not always advertising and marketing. Or maybe you go to Amazon and sometimes you buy job supplies and sometimes you buy office supplies. So you might not be able to set up Amazon as a rule specifically, because sometimes it gets categorized differently. So you do have to be very specific, very particular with the rules that you set up. But if you know for a fact every single time that the bank detail has this word or this phrase, then categorize it as such. Online bank access. This could really help speed things up and make things more efficient. This way, you don't have to ask your client and you don't have to wait for your client to send you information. So, online bank access, this way you can log into their bank yourself. So, this is not going to, you're still going to have to take an active role managing your client's online bank accounts. So, not truly passive for this step particularly, but it's just another step to make you run more efficiently. It helps a lot with everything. So you connect your bank accounts to the QuickBooks bank feed. And so if you have your own username and password, your own online bank access, if there's ever a disconnection in the QuickBooks bank feed, which seems to happen weekly at this point, if you haven't noticed, if you have that access, you can connect the bank accounts directly to QuickBooks, and it'll save you so much time, so much headache, so much back and forth. It'll make things really great. And then bank statements every month, you just log into the bank and you can pull bank statements. And then check images. You can see check images, which really helps categorize transactions. Okay, last thing about automating the work that you do. This is why I recommend have a niche in the services that you provide. Bookkeeping is incredible. Bookkeeping is amazing because we can automate a lot of the processes. Payroll, taxes, that's not what we do. We just do bookkeeping. We just record transactions and reconcile accounts. Accounts payable and accounts receivable. I talk about it a lot. You can definitely make a lot of money quickly by doing accounts payable and accounts receivable, but long term, scaling, I don't think it's a great idea. I have actually dropped a lot of my clients who I was doing their accounts payable and accounts receivable because it is a lot of work. It's not worth it. I would much rather get 3 bookkeeping clients for $500 each, and I'm just doing their bookkeeping. And I have QuickBooks rules set up, automatic emails set up, touch them once a week, 2 hours a month, $1,500, 3 clients, 6 hours total. Super simple. I would much rather have that than have one client who pays $1,500 per month, but I have to do all their bookkeeping and process their accounts payable and send out their invoices every single week. That's a lot more work. That's a lot more difficult to automate, nearly impossible to automate that process. I would much rather just have the bookkeeping. So, short term, if you're trying to make some quick money, then sure, accounts payable, accounts receivable, it's great to manage that for your clients. But long term, if you want to automate your processes or even hire employees, I think that accounts payable and accounts receivable function gets much more difficult to scale. Okay, now let's talk about developing systems and processes so you can outsource and hire the work. Before we get too much further, if you are watching live on YouTube, feel free to drop a question in the chat. And once I get through my notes, I'll do my best to answer everybody's questions. It can be about anything. It can be about what I'm talking about here, automating for passive income, or it can be about bookkeeping, QuickBooks, sales, marketing. It can be about anything. Number two, if you're listening to my podcast on Apple or Spotify and you want to watch the YouTube video, I have the exact same name, Bookkeeping Expert Zach Pasquarello on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Go ahead and search the video if you want to see that. And then finally, if you're watching the replay and then you want to watch the live video, I go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm talking about the same stuff. I'm helping people start and grow their own bookkeeping business. Now let's talk about developing systems and processes. So this probably isn't super relevant for people who are just getting started or for people who are struggling to find their first client. This is probably more so for people who already have 10 to 20 clients. But I think it's still really important to think about this in the very beginning. So, first, before you hire somebody, you have to come up with a job that you want them to do. So, you have to first figure out what are you struggling with. And usually it's something that is easy, but it just takes up a lot of your time. So you don't necessarily want to outsource something that's really complicated. You probably don't like the stuff that's really complicated, but you can't outsource that. At least you can't outsource that first. I would recommend outsourcing the simple things first to free up your time so that you can work on the higher level, more complicated stuff. So in order to outsource something, you need to be able to tell somebody what to do. That means you need to have a system or a process in place. So you could hire a virtual assistant, an overseas assistant, an office manager, a bookkeeper, anybody, an executive assistant. You can hire anybody. It can be in office, it can be virtual, it can be overseas, it can be anybody, anywhere. But no matter who you hire, you need to tell them what to do. In order to tell somebody what to do, you have to come up with a process. So maybe you want them to handle bookkeeping, pretty straightforward. You need to have an SOP or you need to have a process for how they're going to do the bookkeeping. So having a weekly checklist, a daily checklist of what they need to do, which accounts they're working on, which bank accounts, how to categorize the transactions, what to do if they have questions. Do they email the client? Do they ask you directly? Do you have a shared Google sheet where they can put questions into the Google sheet? Do you have Keeper or some other CRM software where they can enter the questions into the CRM software? So what I would recommend doing is in the beginning, write down processes and systems and SOPs for how you're doing stuff so that whenever it comes time for you to hire somebody, you can just pass off the SOP that you've already created and then they can just take your processes and they can run with it and they can start doing those basic entry level tasks in your business. You don't need to start with an employee. You don't need to start hiring a 40-hour a week full-time employee right in the beginning. It can just be an independent contractor working 5, 10 hours a week on something small, something simple. Find your bottleneck. Find your bottleneck. There's two things we're doing here. We're either getting clients or we're doing the bookkeeping, providing customer service. There's really only two things that we're doing. If you're a bookkeeper, if you're an accountant, chances are you probably don't love getting clients. You probably don't love sales and marketing. But that's the hardest part. I'm here to say, unfortunately, I don't think it's a good idea to outsource, what do we call it? Business development, sales, marketing, account management. I don't think it's a good idea to outsource that in the beginning. I think you need to do that first. You need to get 10, maybe 15, maybe 20 clients. Get those clients first. I would probably recommend if you do want to hire somebody, first of all, figure out what you struggle with or what you need help with or what you don't have time to do. Pick an easy task and then hire somebody to probably help you process the bookkeeping, probably help you categorize transactions or reconcile accounts or just keep up with your clients. That's probably where you're going to hire somebody first. And then you need to focus on business development and account management and customer service and getting new clients. That's what you need to focus on as the business owner. You might be able to hire somebody to be you can't. Realistically, let's be honest, you can't hire somebody else to be the face of your company and go out and promote your business and do sales and marketing, at least not in the beginning. You can't do that in the beginning. That has to be you because nobody's going to be as good at that as you. Probably. Most likely, you're going to be the best promoter of your business. So in the beginning, I really think you need to do that. If you want to hire somebody, you can hire somebody to help you with the back office delivering of bookkeeping. But I don't think you can hire somebody for the sales and marketing, at least not in the beginning. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I'm totally off. And total transparency, caveat, asterisk. I've never done this before. So I'm kind of just speaking on theory. I'm kind of just speaking on this is everything I've thought about. I have really thought about hiring somebody, getting help. I've never actually done it. So I'm sure there's some of you listening right now who have done this. So I would be curious. Let me know what you think about all of this. Find your bottleneck, figure out what you need help with. And then the whole idea is once you hire a team, maybe you start with a bookkeeper and then maybe you hire another bookkeeper. And then maybe you hire somebody to help you with business development. And so now you've got 3 people. And then maybe you pick one of those 3 people, whoever's the star. You pick one of those 3 people to kind of be your manager. And then you hire 2 more bookkeepers. And then that one star from the original team becomes the manager. And then that one manager now manages your 3 other bookkeepers. And then you've got 2 people helping you with business development. So now you can see you start with one person. And then over the course of 3 or 4 years, now you've got a 6-person team. And now you're running a $3 million bookkeeping business with 6 employees. And you probably could take a step back and let your 6-person team run your business. So in theory, that's how it would all work. It's really, really complicated. There's a million things that go into it, but that's how it would happen. So with that being said, let's get to the chat. Let's get to the questions. Let's see what you all have to say. If you can't tell, I was sick last week. I think today I feel good. I think I sound a lot better. I feel a lot better. I think I'm finally on the up and up. So I'm happy about that. Happy that I'm starting to feel better. Getting sick is the worst. Okay, before I get into the questions, I will just briefly mention, excuse me, sorry. This video is sponsored by my investment fund, Zip Capital. So I do real estate private money lending. So I lend to Pennsylvania real estate investors who buy properties. Let's say, for example, they find a house in the city for $100,000 and it might need, I don't know, $40,000 to fix it, but they think it could be worth $200,000 when they sell it. So I will give them $100,000 to buy the house, and then I'll also give them $40,000 to fix the house. And then so I'm all in on the deal at 140,000 and then it sells for 200,000. So the real estate investor makes $40,000, I make $20,000 in interest and loan fees, and the community gets restored and a new family gets to move into a beautifully restored and renovated house in the city. So that's the whole idea. I'm lending to real estate investors. I offer fast, flexible funding. So I can get them a loan much faster than a bank can. So I charge a higher interest rate than a bank, but they get fast, flexible funding through me. So I will fund at 70% of the after rehab value. So 140,000 is 70% of 200,000 in this made up deal. So I've been lending to these guys for the past 3 years. I've done 65 loans. I started with my own money. And now I've got $4 million that I'm lending out, and I'm raising money in my investment fund, Zip Capital. So I'm offering 8 to 12% fixed returns. So if you want to invest, let me know. There's a link down below in the description. You can register on my website and you can invest and possibly earn 8 to 12%. Yesterday, I just got a $600,000 investor. So I'm almost at $3 million of other people's money in Zip Capital. So my goal is to get to 5 million. So if you want to join, help me get to that $5 million goal, register on my website. I would love to chat. Okay, let's get to the questions. Michelle, Good morning, Zach. I just want to say thank you for sharing your wisdom with all of us. You are impacting many lives. Michelle, I really appreciate that. Truthfully, really, really appreciate that. Dylan Strauss, what's up, man? Hey, man. Happy to see you. Let's see. Yeah, don't know how to say your name. I'm so sorry. The 3% fees that QBO charges for credit card payments, do you add that to client's invoice or eat the cost? I add the 3% credit card fee as a convenience fee. ACH is 1%. I don't charge for the ACH, but I definitely charge 3% for the credit card fee. And if they kick back, I say, hey, if you don't want to pay the credit card, no problem. Mail me a check or send me an ACH. No problem. If I get a new QBO accountant account when I create a new work email, will I lose my Pro Advisor badges? I think you're going to lose them. I don't think you can transfer them, but I'm not 100% sure, but you're probably going to lose them. Chris Bramble, loving the content. Keep it up. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate your support. Musician Dress It. What do you think of the following social media posting schedule by themes? Me Monday, Tuesday tips, Wednesday wins, Thursday tips, Friday facts, mixing personal content on the weekend. I think it's a great idea. Here's what I think. Doesn't matter what you do. The only thing that matters is that you do something every day. Literally does not matter. I'm not the kind of person to have a strict schedule every single day, every week. That's just not my personality. I just kind of just go with whatever I'm thinking that day. But if you want to have that strict schedule, I think it's great. Whatever helps you be consistent, that is good, and be willing to be flexible. So do this for 30 days. And then if you're like, hey, I'm kind of getting tired of this, I kind of want to switch it up, switch it up. You don't have to stick to that 100%. The only thing you have to stick to is being consistent every day. Doesn't matter what you do, just be consistent every day. I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm serious. That's all you have to do. You have to get better, but you also just have to be consistent. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I've been watching all your videos for about a year. Wow, I really appreciate that. They've been super helpful, especially the lives where you can ask questions. I finally decided to start my own bookkeeping business. Let's go. 1 year later. That's incredible. That's why I do it. That honestly, you can see the smile on my face. That really does make me happy. So, yeah, I make money from YouTube. I make money from ad revenue. I make money when people invest into Zip Capital, but it really does make me happy when things like that happen. So great job. Really proud of you. Keep up the good work. Next question. Hi, Zach. Love your channel. Recently retired relatively early. Did the QBO bookkeeping and Pro Advisor, do clients have an issue with financial documents to Google or Dropbox? Nope, no issue. Some of my clients email me their documents. Some people have their clients upload them to a secure server or keeper. Sometimes if they're, excuse me, sometimes if your clients are really concerned about it, they can password protect their documents and then send you the password for those PDFs, or they can upload them to Google Drive or Dropbox. But yeah, there's always a solution. So just be flexible. Just be willing to accommodate the clients however they want. All right, bookkeeping 101. A credit card payment was mistakenly categorized as an expense, and I can't seem to change it from the bank register. How can I fix this? So a credit card payment, it's fine if it's an expense. It just needs to be recorded as an expense from the bank account. So a credit card payment is most likely just a transfer. So you can accomplish a transfer in multiple different ways in QuickBooks. It can be a journal entry where you can debit the credit card and credit the bank account. It can be an expense. It can be, there's actually a transfer feature, or there's actually a credit card payment feature. So you can accomplish all of these many different ways. You just want to make sure that you're showing accurately the money from the bank account to the credit card account. How you sell to people who say that they are okay with paying their friend to do their bookkeeping once a year for cheap versus paying us to do it monthly for $300. So, Eric, you're probably not going to sell them, but here's what I would say. I would ask, so I would tell them two things: updated financial reports. So that, don't you want to see how much your business made last month? Don't you want to see in real time if your business is growing or succeeding or declining and failing? Don't you want to see if you're making more money or spending too much money on advertising or too much money on payroll? Don't you want to actually run your business efficiently and grow your business? If they say no to that, then you're out of luck. Like, if they don't want accurate, updated financial reports, then they don't want bookkeeping, like, straight up. Like, they're it's a dead deal. But if they say yes to that, they say, okay, well, if you wait until the end of the year, sure, you might be able to file your taxes, but you're not going to have timely financial reports to make informed business decisions. So bookkeeping accomplishes two things. We get you tax compliance at the end of the year, but also, just as importantly, we get those monthly financial reports so that you can make informed business decisions and grow and optimize your business. So it's not just taxes at the end of the year. So stress the monthly reports for business decisions, and then also talk about finding errors and finding mistakes and potentially identifying fraud. Tell them, I'm going to be in your bank accounts, in your books every single week. So if there's ever an issue, or if there's ever a question, or if there's ever a fraudulent charge or a scam, there's a good chance I might be able to find it in real time. If you wait until the end of the year to do your books, you're not going to find it in enough time to hopefully fix it or correct it. Hi, thank you for the videos. Remember, you do your own two businesses and personal accounts in QuickBooks. Do you purchase QBO? No. I have QuickBooks Online Accountant. It's free. QuickBooks Online Accountant. It's free for all of us to use. You can sign up. You can have multiple accounts. QuickBooks Online Accountant. Hi, Zach. I'm a CPA with 3 years experience. What additional services do you think I should offer? KPI dash, analytics, ad hoc, audit prep. So I have no idea. I don't know what you should do, but here's what I do know that you should do. You should get some bookkeeping clients and then ask them. Figure out, get 10 bookkeeping clients and find out what they need. Talk to them. Be like, hey, I'm a CPA. I can help with forecasting and budgeting. And like, what do you want? What do you need? How can I help you? How can I better serve you? That's a great place to start. Also, be creative and maybe just start doing something. So there's two ways you can go here. You can ask them what they need. That's the easy option. That's that might work, that might not. You can just ask them what they need. But oftentimes business owners don't even know what they need. And here's how we can really provide value. You figure out what they need before they even realize what they need. So figure out what they need, and you're not going to know that. This is all hypothetical, theoretical. You're not going to know this until you get clients. Get 10 bookkeeping clients first, figure out what they need, and then provide it to them for 1 or 2 months. Be like, hey, I noticed that cash flow seems to be tight sometimes. And so here, check this out. I developed this cash flow tracker where we can input data daily or weekly, and we can track your cash flow, and we can project your cash flow based on your previous 3 months of revenue and expenses. We can project your cash flow and what it might look like for the next 90 days. So check out this dashboard, check out this spreadsheet, check out this presentation that I made. What do you think? Is this helpful? Do that for a couple clients, figure out what they need, solve their problems, and then present it to them, and then do it for a couple months for free, and then see if they might want to hire you and pay you to do that. Are the majority of your bookkeeping clients located in Pennsylvania? 60%, 70% of my clients are in Pennsylvania. Hi, Zach. I'm an accounting student new to the channel. You have inspired me to start my own firm. Congratulations, Kevin. So happy to have you. So happy to be an inspiration. You are also an inspiration to all of us for being a student and wanting to start your own business. That's amazing. I didn't start my own business until I was 26 years old. 26 years old. So you are light years ahead of most of us. So congratulations. Thanks. Thank you for your class. I love learning about bookkeeping. I'm hoping to be able to open up a bookkeeping business soon. Hi, Zach. Love your content. Any specific niches to get started so I can get clients? Here's what I always say. I don't think you need to pick a specific niche in the beginning. I just think you should get 10 clients first, figure out what you like, and then pick a niche after you get your first 10 clients. How can you speed up categorizing? I feel like with my high transaction volume clients, it's taking me so long. QuickBooks rules. That's really the only way. Use QuickBooks rules. Try to select multiple transactions at one time. So if you have 5 transactions from Home Depot, then you can just select all 5 at the same time and just categorize all of them all at once. But first, use QuickBooks rules. I use the rule feature, but sometimes they won't auto categorize. Not sure why. There's a button at the bottom. So whenever you create a rule, there's a button that says auto add. So if you check that box, it should auto add the transactions. If it's not auto adding the transactions, probably it's because there's something wrong with your rule. The rules are pretty bulletproof. They do exactly what they say they're going to do. So maybe check your bank text or maybe check the bank accounts that were selected. If you don't apply the rule to all the bank accounts and all the credit cards, then it's not going to work. It's only going to apply the rules to the accounts that you select. Do you deal with clients with Citibank on QBO? Not really, actually. Not too much. I can't see the check auto on QBO. What should I ask for? QuickBooks or bank? The owner does not want to. So unfortunately, so check the bank statements. Sometimes the check images are on the bank statements. If not, you're going to have to ask the client to tell me, hey, here's checks in QuickBooks. I can't see the check image. So can you please tell me who did you pay and a brief explanation of what did you buy? All right, that's it, everybody. I got to go. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going live again tomorrow, 10 a.m. on my YouTube channel tomorrow. Comment down below, what do you want me to talk about tomorrow? I would love to hear that. And I will see you all tomorrow. If you want to invest in Zip Capital, I'm offering 8 to 12% fixed returns. So consider investing into Zip Capital. There's a link down below in the description. You can register on my website and I will call you immediately. So register on my website if you have $25,000 or more to invest. That is the minimum, $25,000. Thank you all so much. God bless you. Have a great day.